Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Dawn of War 2 replay. So on the south side as the Hive Tyrant, we have a funny man. That's clearly a very funny man. Spawning top side as a Plague Champion, we have Deminos. Do have a second Hormigaunt coming on out. Most people go for 2 Termagants. Going for a third Hormigaunt. Okay, he's going aggressive Hormagaunts. That's a little bit questionable since heretics can just blow themselves up, doing some good damage all across the lots of models of Hormagaunts. So that is a little bit questionable, I would say. Termagants probably, I can see second squad of Hormagaunts, good capping pressure, and easy to help tie up the Chaos Marines, but 3 squads, I sort of disagree with. Hive Tyrant now pushes his way forward. Plague Champion is getting some good damage in, and the Chaos Marines are seeing a little bit of damage there. Heretics may charge on in to get some good damage in as well. And looks like the Hive Tyrant does fall back, just receiving way too much fire. There's a third Heretic squad being deployed on out. That's a bit unusual. Over here, we do have the power generator being captured on up. Heretics are going to make their advance. We do have the Chaos Marines pushing the way forward.
Your forces obey you.
And we do have a immediate upgrade on the Hive Tyrant. I really don't know much about the Hive Tyrant upgrades. So we got Rending Talons, upgrades the Hive Tyrant with Rending Talons, of course. And improved melee weapon effective against infantry, also grants Seismic Roar, which deals 35 piercing damage and knocks back nearby units. So it's going to be a very melee focused Hive Tyrant, at least for the time being. You can always wipe off the weapon later on. Deals 6 piercing damage DPS for 10 seconds in effective area. So it does actually do damage over time for a roar? That's one way to find out, see how effective it is.
Your units fulfill your command.
We got these adrenal glands deployed on out, and there must be the seismic roar, so it does cause like a green and cinder effect, poison effect there. Oh, a little bit stuck right there, but didn't cause too much additional unusual effect. This one has an upgraded Aspiring Champion. The Hive Tyrant is quite wounded at the moment. It does fall back. And we do got lots of guys collapsing on this Heretic squad. He should be able to keep on there. Does lose the last Heretic model, but the Champion model, the Space Marine model, is quite durable. This Heretic squad, however, is likely going to be eaten by... Nope, he has the Aspiring Champion upgrade now. That should allow him to stay alive through the tree path. Yep, there goes the Heretics, but the Champion will keep the squad alive. Relatively, when it comes to alive. Yep, you shall give your lives for chaos. The quote... no, that's different. I'm thinking of a quote, but it won't really apply to this situation. It reminds me of General Patton's quote: "You don't win a war by dying for your country. You win a war by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country." There's all the Heretics models, so it looks like the Hormagaunts do understand Patton's way of thinking. And the Hormagaunt play is actually panning out quite a bit. So maybe I was wrong. But they don't, in my opinion, Hormagaunts don't really scale all too well in the late game. So you will need to build an elite core of attacking units while the Hormagaunts capturing up all the points. That's probably what he will have to do. Excuse me. Ascended Carapace grants the charge ability for the Hive Tyrant, which go great with the Seismic Roar. Dealing piercing damage per second over time. That's probably because rather than knocking back, it provides constant damage over time around him. There's a Seismic Roar, getting some great damage there. Also increases health and health regen, so it's going to be a very durable Hive Tyrant. So the Hormagaun's probably going around capturing points, allowing the Hive, and while the Hive Tyrant just tries to beat the bully. He is a Tyrant after all. Another name for a bully. Good knockbacks there. And I do like the grenade launcher upgrade on the Heretics. Especially against Hormagaunts, while they can, if they manage to maintain the rage, those grenades will do a lot of damage. This one Hormagaunt will go back. Lots of AoE effect. Well, the Hormagaunts may have, no, the Hormagaunts, none of them do go down, but a lot of them came close. 2 models. So 7 models in this one, but that's a lot of damage coming on out.
We may yet triumph today.
Tier 2 being researched by the Hive Tyrant. Let's see, what would you go for? Probably a Tyrant Guard. Tyrant Guard's pretty much standard most time, but not sure. Just have to wait for it, see what his opponent, what he actually deploys out. Ritual's being activated, getting a lot of health regen. Oh, not a whole lot of health regen. That's probably a good amount of health regen for these other squads, like on the Chaos Marines who really needed that health.
Call now upon the unholy power. Do not lose us that power.
Of course, the Hive Tyrant's now charging forward, and here comes the seismic roar. Right? Now is a great time for us. No, he does not get the seismic roar off in time. I'm not so sure the energy cost. Maybe there's not enough energy to charge on in to go for the seismic roar, but he just charged to his death, literally. Time's up. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. That was usually the other way around. Usually, Yumi run into something that's scaly for that. But either way, generators are going on down. Grenade launchers and heretics both do good damage versus the generators. Here comes a Tyrant Guard, but he has no Tyrant 2 Guard at any rate now. Tyrant Guards are not exactly super high damage, but they're very, very durable. So they do a good job at for their namesake, Guard. He did guard that one generator quite well. He did save it. Bloodletters are being deployed now. He sees the Tyrant Guard. A Bloodletter is a poor choice at this point. He needs an anti-vehicle weapon for the Tyrant Guard. Sure, it combos quite well with like this Nurgle rituals for extra health regen, but Blood Crusher probably would be better. So I do disagree with the Bloodletters. All the generators go down, so both sides doing a lot of damage to the opponent's generators. Very nice. The Plague Champion has been the Hive Tyrant has been respawned. And soon there may be a duel between the Hive Tyrant and the Plague Champion. Plague Champion has not been upgraded with anything just yet. Spore mines have been deployed on out. That's unusual. I don't have any faith in spore mines. I feel like even if they do get really good hits, then they don't do enough damage to really warrant their cost. He is trying. Looks like those ones are actually doing some good damage over time. He will fall back to get some better health regen and reinforcements. Maybe I made a little bit wrong with them, but it feels like whenever I see them, they're hardly any good. That's probably the best spore mine I've actually ever seen, and that's not saying a whole lot. Capillary Tower has been deployed on out. The Hormagaunts are trying to tie up the Plague Champion melee. He's trying to go for this garrison. It's a good garrison, since he's only playing against melee. He could go for a Seismic Roar. Would a Seismic Roar affect the garrison? One way to find out. The garrison's also not at full health, so potentially could be battered down. It only has 875, so it could be battered down.
That which you built, the enemy has destroyed.
Hormagaunts are being forced back by the heretics. These Hormagaunts are being forced back by the heretics, and there may be a squad wipe there, but the Bloodletter's teleport's not really that great.
Your forces obey you.
Tier 3 being researched by the Hive Tyrant. Will we see a Carnifex? He is very low in resource. And against opponent's current composition, a Zenithrope may be his best option.
Your units fulfill your command.
For those who are watching, what do you think? Zenithrope, Carnifex, or Swarmlord? I think Zenithrope will be the best out of them. He has good long-range AoEs, and he's fighting against a lot of light units. He does use fall back with the Bloodletter, so that ritual here, he does have like 13 health regen per second. And he starts engaging now. The Hormagaunts are now falling back. The Hive Tyrant Guard is still in the area. He needs to start retreating away. The Plasma Guns will start slowly whittling away against him, but that charge does knock back all those forces.
Your units fulfill your command.
Oh, he teleports right there. I don't know why. It seemed like he's going to teleport a couple feet. He's snaring up. He's tying up that Tyrant Guard quite well for the Plasma Guns, and does take out the Tyrant Guard. Very, very nice.
Your forces obey you.
The Plague Champ is pretty far away from Tier 3, so the Hive Tyrant does have a very good tech advantage for the time being. Seismic Roar does knock back those Bloodletters, but these grenade launchers are doing some good work in. And these Hormagaunts need to fall back. They're getting a little bit overwhelmed. Good damage there onto these grenade launchers. Activate the ritual. They're trying to out-heal the damage. But of course, rituals can't affect himself. Maybe he's trying to do that to spread his forces out. Actually, not saying any sort of damage over time, so I'm not so sure what that Green Cloud actually does. Hormagaunts has seen bit of fire there from the grenade launchers. Hive Tyrant is severely wounded, will need to fall back. Is falling back. So Zenithrope, he doesn't have to be careful with Zenithrope because the Bloodletters could teleport on top of them. So I generally don't know what he should go for. A Carnifex may be the best option at this point. A melee Carnifex, maybe? He can't afford a Carnifex right now. He may be eyeing for a Swarmlord. One generator does go down. He does need his generators for a Swarmlord. He is going to go with Carnifex. I think he... Oh, it looks like his Carnifex is 150 energy. So not the same for like 125 or 135. A little bit more expensive. Hive Tyrant is falling him back, and these Versity generators will be cleaned on up. Hormagaunts will go around the flanks, capture its points, but there was a Plague Cloud right there, and Plague Clouds do a lot of damage versus these Hormagaunts. Hormagaunts and Hive Tyrant switching away for Hive Tyrant's not a full health. But these Bloodletters with our heightened health regen activate the invulnerability ability for more health regen, and we'll be able to enter back into combat very shortly. Here comes the Carnifex. Carnifex is much more durable. Does force you to retreat back on these squads. He's not upgraded Carnifex just yet. Maybe a good idea just to leave it unupgraded to adapt to his opponent's combat strategy. He's deploying on some Havocs now. Grenade launchers coming on in. Nice knockback there on the Hormagaunts. All three Hormagaunts are here. And there's still a capillary tower right here. So I'm going to try to retreat both those squads in that garrison. Is a good idea. A few times where that actually is a good idea because these guys have no way of hitting it. He's just going to try. One way he can kill them is by destroying the building itself. But we've got some spore mines charge on in that make it the kill there on that squad. And that garrison staying not a whole lot of damage, just a good amount of damage. Does lose a model there. Hive Tyrant or Carnifex does get the kill there on that grenade launcher squad, so that's actually a big loss. Being upgraded with the Thorn back, that's the melee upgrade, which allowed him to pull out, was it Rippers or Spore Mines? One of the two. Good hits there by the last cannon. The Swarm Lord needs a charge on top of it. Does do a seismic roar there, but needs to use the charge ability. Carnifex is receiving quite a bit of fire there. Heretics are now falling back. Multiple models being detonated. Rippers are being deployed on out, which are tying up the Havocs in melee. Full retreat coming out by the Plague Champion. Very, very good.
Who rises from these ranks?
He's actually now getting a Sergeant upgrade? Oh no, he's getting Sergeant Aspiring Chart being upgraded on the Chaos Marines. He must have lost the champion beforehand. Spore Mines charging in, trying to show that Plague Marine who's boss. But really it's doing a poor job of that. It does have the Plague Fist ability there. That gives him an anti-vehicle melee weapon. Teleports on in, trying to get these Hormagaunts. Will force him back, likely won't get the wipe. Hive Tyrant is down half health. And we got a last cannon shot there onto the Carnifex. He will escape out the arc now. Seismic Roar was utilized. And good hits there onto the Hive Tyrant. Does get the nice smash there, stunning him. Last cannon here, sitting on up. He's trying to try to up him in melee. He may need to pull out those Rippers. He's going to be charging on in. Does get a nice knockback there on all those forces. But a little bit too far on the Havocs. Activate the ritual there for good health regen. Last cannon sitting on up. Tyranno formations come in. That's the only way to save his Carnifex. Annihilates, nukes the Havoc squad. Went from 3/4 health to 0 health in an instant. Ripper's also moving on in, being knocked around a bit. Tyranno formation. He does knock down a couple of his capillary towers. Rivers being nibbling at the feet, biting the ankles of the bloodletters. And we've got Hormagaunts not coming to support there now. I think the Plague Cloud's being called on in right there. Yeah, Plague Cloud's being called on in. He does retreat back nice and early because that would annihilate the Hormagaunts. Hive Tyrant is at full health, does use a Seismic Roar there, knocking back the bloodletters. Hormagaunts kept at the right VP, which he definitely does need. He's lower on VPs, he can't be losing anymore. But he's not extremely low at the moment. Carnifex here pushes his way forward towards his own generators. Oh, it's still only tier 2 for the Plague Champion. It will need another plasma, not plasma cannon, las cannon, or go for a Blastmaster. Against all the Hormagaunts, a Blastmaster wouldn't be half bad, but it is a bit situational. Starting to clean up those capillary towers. Chaos Dreadnought being deployed on out. That's probably a good idea. Maybe with the Mark of Corn for heavy anti melee. Though he's already fighting against heavy melee.
The enemy has 200.
Autocannon wouldn't be half bad. The frag launchers will allow him to engage that range. Any will work, honestly.
Stay clear. Your forces obey you.
Counter at this point, very nice. Does get some good damage there on the Hormigons. We do got a Swarm Lord being deployed on out. A true Lord has arisen, or will rise. Ritual is being activated, very nice. The Bloodletters are now at full HP. Now here comes the Carnifex. That's Heretic Squad will not get wiped, but will lose a large number of models. Autocannon is making his way forward, trying to pitch in some damage there. Autocannon is more of a soft counter than a hard counter. And that is, the Plague String does have an anti-vehicle melee, but since the Carnifex is also heavy melee beats heavy melee. There goes that Termagant squad. Maybe start hitting that Dreadnought. Does do a charge there, knocking back the Heretics, getting significant amount of damage there. You won't get the squad wipe there on the Heretic, but you will get one last model. Heretics are engaging the Termagants, or Hormigons. The Hormigons will be falling back. He may actually lose that Hormigant squad as well. And these squads actually are important for capturing. It looks like he won't lose it. He needs to keep these Hormigons alive just for capping pressure. With the Carnifex, Hive Tyrant, and Swarm Lord, that's going to be a heavy assault squad, a kill team to engage his opponent's force, while the rest guys can just start nibbling away at the VPs. Going for another generator. Looks like he retreated that pretty early. Could have potentially still won. He actually had a lot of VPs. He could trade time for requisition. I say he could have still played the game a bit more. It was pretty bleak, but I don't think it was unwinnable. The opponent's already used a Tyrant formation, so he could patch deploy out another las cannon. But either way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching and signing off.